The topic is converting equations from spherical to rectangular. Alright, so let's do the first example. Convert the equation rho squared sine squared phi sine squared theta plus cosine squared phi equals 16 to rectangular form. To rectangular form means we need to only have x, y's, and z's. So what do? One way, I don't know if you notice, if you distribute, because we kind of missing, to get an x, we need the rho sine phi sine x. So if we, and then to get a y or to get a z, we need to have a rho cosine of phi. So it's kind of like we need a rho here. It's kind of like we need a rho. So what we're going to do, we're going to distribute. So distribute rho square sine squared phi sine squared theta plus rho square cosine squared phi equals 16. Now look at, oops, not the x, sine squared. So look at the y. This is going to be y squared plus, and this will be, if you look at the z, z squared equals 16. So y and z. So sine squared, let me make sure it's right. Sine, yep. So y plus z equal 4. That would be cylinder. And then x can be anything. Right, keeps going to the other side also. Alright, now let's do the next equation, next problem. Convert the spherical equation rho equal to, this is an easy one, rho equals square root of 2. We can use this equation now. If we square both sides, we get 2, so that's a, and the rho squared will be x squared plus y squared plus z squared equal 2. So this is a sphere with radius square root of 2. It's an easy one. The next example, convert the spherical equation rho equals sine phi sine theta to rectangular form. So rho equal sine phi sine theta. Again, what I'm going to do, I see sine phi sine theta, so I'm looking at y. All I'm missing is rho. So I'm going to multiply rho both sides with rho. If you multiply left by rho, you get rho squared, rho sine phi sine theta. Now I know this is going to, rho squared will be x squared plus y squared plus z squared. And on the right side, I'm just getting a y. Right? So that's the equation, but if you want to graph it, this will be x squared plus y squared minus y plus z squared equals 0. Complete the squared. So add 1/2 squared. Now this will be y minus 1/2 squared x squared plus z squared. So that's that will be a sphere. So it will be sphere with center equal 0, 1/2, 0, and radius equal 1/2 radius. Not so basically. You write radius 1/2. So we need to go to 1/2 here, and this is 1. Right, and give it the sphere. And that's it for this example. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, next one will be convert the spherical equation theta equal pi over 4. again, the only formula we have between theta and rectangle is tangent of theta equal y over x. So this means that tangent of pi over 4 will be equal y over x, but tangent of pi over 4 is just 1. So y over x, which means y equal x. So it will be the half plane. By the way, it's not the whole plane, it's just a half plane. Because think about it, theta is equal pi over 4, means theta is between, in this case we're taking theta to be between 0 and pi over 2, which means x is positive and y is positive. So basically this is the plane. Right? This is the plane y equal x, or this is our theta equal pi over 4. And of course, I mean, let me do it this way. See, our phi goes from here to here. Our phi goes from 0, whoops, all the way to here. From 0 to pi, to phi equal pi. Alright, next example. This will be a hard one. Convert the spherical equation phi equal pi over 4 to rectangular form. This is going to be kind of a hard one, but it's doable. I mean, if you think about, I mean, where's pi over 4? Here's phi equal pi over 4, right? And if we let theta goes that way, we know that's a cone. And we know the cone, we're supposed to get 0 equal square root of x squared plus y squared. So let's just give it a try. So we know that phi is equal pi over 4, kind of like going backwards, which means tangent of phi equal 1. But what does it mean tangent is equal 1? It means sine of phi, tangent is sine over cosine, which means sine of phi is equal cosine of phi. Right? Now, how are we going to get the x squared plus y squared? So the sine phi, so multiply both by rho. So if you multiply rho sine phi, supposed to get rho cosine phi, right? Yeah, but rho cosine phi, you can only get a z from that. So this is what we need to do. We need to square them probably now. Let's square both sides. Rho square sine square phi is equal rho square cosine square phi. But this is going to be z and I need the y. So what I'm going to do, yeah, let me do this. I don't know if this will work. Actually, let me just rewrite this. Something wrong here, because I want the z on the left side. So this is already got a z. So let me rewrite it. So we know that rho cosine phi, which is z, is equal to rho sine phi. But I need the x squared. So this is what I do. Rho cosine phi equal rho square sine square phi square root, right? But now what I can do is I can multiply it by cosine square plus sine squared, yep, of theta. So rho square sine square phi is a hard one. Cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta, rho cosine phi equal, now I'm going to distribute inside, so that would be rho square sine square phi cosine squared theta plus rho square sine square phi sine squared theta. It's kind of like doing it backwards. If you've done it the other way, I did it previous example. Let me first write this. So this will be, this is just x squared, and this is just y squared, and this will be z, right? Rho cosine phi is just a z. The way we did it earlier, previous videos, I went backwards, so it's kind of like same thing but going backwards. Alright, next example. Convert the spherical equation rho squared sine square phi equal 4 to rectangular. This is also a hard one. See, the only way to do this is add, I'm gonna add rho squared cosine squared, and I'll tell you why. Cosine square of phi to both sides. The reason why I'm doing this, so I can factor, so I can get rho squared, and this will be sine square of phi plus cosine square of phi. 4 plus, let's leave these, this is the same thing as rho cosine phi. If you can write it this way, it doesn't matter. Now I know this is 1, and the rho squared will be what? X squared plus y squared plus z squared, and this will be 4 plus, if you look at this, is z. This is just a z, so z squared. Alright, so that's it, but if you want to graph it, this will be x squared plus y squared plus z squared. Oops. Let's do something. Yeah, let's go subtract the z0 from both sides. That means z squared from both sides. So this will be x squared plus y squared equals 4. So actually, yeah, you could have just simplified these from both sides. So yes, so we have a cylinder. This will be 2, 2, right? I mean, continue going forever. And that's it for these examples.